In the meantime, uh, over the last week, I've mostly shifted over actually to working on some Viz testing stuff, but there have been a couple things I've been messing around with on Embed and cleaning up. Um, so one of them was like I was trying to play around with I wrote this little Embed SDK a couple weeks ago. I can't remember if I demoed it, but this is actually on NPM. Um, it's we're called Omnico. Um, And so this is just like a remix app that's not our remix app, but it's just a different one on my local computer. It's using the SDK to generate a URL. In this case, it's pointing to some content on my machine. And if the demo gods are with me, okay, cool. So this worked. And I like basically through this process, I found a couple production bugs, which have been fixed. And then the other things that I messed around with were like here was a fun production bug. It's like a really bad bug. Uh, so you couldn't have an external ID be an email address before this week, but now that works. And then as part of that flow, I updated some of the screens in here. So when you go to the embed tab now, it actually calls out the external ID. So hopefully it just makes it a little easier to track who's who. Um, so for example, like this is the one I just created, and so that's there. And if you go back and look at like a regular user, they don't have an external ID, so it's not called out. Um, so that's really it. Told you it was a pretty minimal demo.